Well, hello again, everybody. This is just going to be a quick little update to show what all is going on with the Equinox. And I'm quite pleased. Actually, I did work on the Buick some today and got him all lined out too. It was a pretty simple fix, map sensor. Anyway, back to the Equinox. Now, I think our Seafoam has done the trick and something else. Let me flip you around here and I'll show you. Okay, as you can see, there's something a little different here. First off, before we get into what this is, okay, first, I drove this car after we did the Seafoam treatment and poured the Seafoam into the crankcase. Now, I poured a half a bottle in there. And there was also what seeped past the rings, I'm sure, while we were doing the Seafoam, the operation, whatever you call it. Now, after that, I left the oil with the Seafoam in there for about 130 miles, maybe 140. And then I changed oil, put brand new oil, brand new filter. So, topped it all up. And I've been driving it to work since then. I drove it to work one day with the Seafoam in the oil still. Changed it that evening. Then the next day, come out, drove it the next day, and the next day. So, yeah. Anyway, I drove it to work this week, and I topped it up. It's on 200 miles now, a little over 200 miles on the fresh oil change. Let's just pull this dipstick and see where we're at. Now, I've already pulled it and wiped it off, so whatever it says is what it says. And what it says is, it is still, it won't focus on it, but it's still full. It's right, let me lay it down here. Yeah, you can see the wet where it rolled. It's full all the way to here. According to that, it hasn't lost any oil whatsoever. So, either it's just not burning oil anymore, or that fixed it. Or, remember, these engines do not have a PCV valve. Well, I bought a universal PCV valve, or it's a PCV valve for something. It was on the shelf, or on a rack at AutoZone, and I picked it up, and I picked up a piece of hose and a T. And what I did, I drilled a hole in my oil cap because I didn't want to drill into the valve cover. So I just drilled a hole in the oil cap. Easiest, simplest way to do it. And it has the same results. I put my O-ring back into the oil cap and ran this down. And as you can see, well, maybe not, I'm losing some light here, but the brake booster line comes off of the manifold right here through a T, and then the T goes directly to the PCV valve, and that's how I'm getting my vacuum to my PCV valve. Now, if you do this, do not cut into your brake booster line past, you see this little check valve right here. Don't cut in past that. Cut in toward the manifold past the check valve toward the manifold, because this holds your vacuum, so you have several stops with power brakes still, because you have more vacuum in this hose and it doesn't just bleed off real quick. So in an emergency situation where your engine quits, this is what makes sure that you still have power brakes for a minute, for a few pumps. But if you T in on this side, then you lose that ability. So make sure if you do this, T in on this side over here of the brake booster line. Just cut it, put T in, hook your PCV line up, and I didn't put a clamp on this, so I can just pull that off. It takes two hands because it's just silicone right now. I am going to make this better if it continues to work. What I figure I'll do is I'll rebuild this handle part with JB Weld and shape it so that it all, fits in and everything is held steady. It's just held with the red silicone right now. Anyway, that is all I've done to it, and it doesn't seem to be using any oil, so I think this car is apparently fixed. Yep, I guess that's going to be my little update. Not a whole lot to it, but I think we have it fixed. Now, I am going to update on down the road, and I'm going to let you know if it starts using oil, and within the 1,000-mile mark, I'll do an update, because that will be a good marker where I haven't added any oil. I'm going to try not to add any oil before 1,000 miles and see where it is on that dipstick. Now, to me, if it does happen to end up using a quart every 1,000 or 2,000 miles, I don't have a problem with that. I can put a quart in every 1,000 miles. It's fine. That's not too bad. Now, every 100 miles like it was doing, no, we're not doing that. Unless I go to service stations and get their used oil. I'd rather not put that through it, but if that was what it was permanently going to be, was burning that much oil, that's what I was going to do. I was going to get the used oil, run it through a filter, and then carry it around in the trunk of this car and throw it in there whenever it needed oil. But I think we got it fixed. I hope. Anyway, guess that's going to be it for this little update. Appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.